get the money, get the bag shit. That's what it sound like you were saying, bro.
That wasn't. I didn't say that he had a course.
Or not a course, but
Lo, are you awake?
Saying that Sneako has a platform.
What is a grifter? What is a grifter?
Like, what was the?
I'm awake. I am awake. But
Lo, what do you think?
I think that I think especially since we talking about fucking what's it called distractions. I think everybody's distracted right now, ironically. And in B, I understand what Young Don is saying, especially if that was the same energy that was kept to us in the begin with, because he basically said he doesn't care when he asked him a point blank question that could have just been answered off rip. He could have just answered it. Like, we wouldn't even go down this path if he didn't just answer it. I don't think he's a grifter, but he clearly is pointing out that he doesn't have that much. He doesn't really care as much because he views it as a distraction. My question to people when we always go down this path is what is the end goal? That's why I asked Sneako about what his end goal is. So to Luke, what is the end goal? Because I also agree with.
What is the end goal to what?
But let me just say this. I also agree with Young Don that understandable about having a certain level of finances and being able to affect and impact certain people. But there is a certain point where, like, what is the point of having the endless amount of money? That to me doesn't really make any sense, especially when there's maybe other and more impactful ways to reach people. So what is the end goal to waking up or being in a matrix or not being in it? Because by the logic in which we can keep going down this rabbit hole, then I would ask, then if you don't want to participate in the matrix, then why are you even here? So what is the end goal?
I'm so confused. Why do they think everyone can be rich?
It's a continuous process.
Do they not understand the concept of inflation?
Live under the rules and regulations of other men, and every system that's around you was created by somebody. It is a fictitious created system. And when you understand that, you now start understanding that you can play by different rules, that you're not bound by the same rules and the bullshit that everybody else is bound by. And then you can actually start focusing on other things, like your mindset, your spirituality. All these things are important. But for us to completely invalidate that most of the world lives in poverty, that they need to feed themselves, need to do certain things in order to get out, that is not anything terrible to think.
In many ways, more than not just having enough money.
I get
100%.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, okay, so you're financially liberated, right? How do you then continue that status without also playing within the game?
You have to play within the game, but you're not bound by it. That's the purpose. It's like,
so you're not bound by it. Okay.
You're not bound by it.
A lot of people don't even see that it's a game.
Just like, think about how many people, bro, go and get a job and they go to university just because they've been told these things. Right?
No, we all agree with that.
And that's the point, is like, you can have these type of conversations and people are like, okay, cool. Like, I resonate with this. This makes sense. 50 years ago, when people, all they could watch was a fucking television, it was 4 channels. Everybody thought the same way. Everybody believed the same thoughts. Everybody was indoctrinated. Right now, we have these platforms where everybody has different opinions and people view different things. I've been to 40 countries around the world. I've seen culture. I've seen different people be happy with different things. I've seen terrible parts of religion. I've been to Haiti. I've seen crazy satanic shit over there. Like, I've seen a ton of stuff. So it's not that I'm discrediting this, right? I come from a family that were missionaries in communist Cuba, bro. I was born in a fucking in South America, and they put me in a fucking bread basket, bro. I come from nothing. So I've seen the importance of spirituality and all these things, bro. But I've also seen the importance of giving people the necessary resources to live life. And with that, you can have more impact. The more you have, the more impact you can make, positive or negative.
Adding Lamza. Shut the fuck up about Lamza. We're talking about.
What do you think?
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that if you always believe that there's another step to the matrix where somebody else is always controlling you. For example, if you want financial liberation, let's just say you bought a bunch of houses and you rent them out, so now you have the freedom to not do anything and still have like passive income, for example. Would you not still be bound to the concept of the housing market?
Yeah, of course. There's always some sort of consistent reinventing yourself in order to keep up with the system changing. Like, that's the name of the game. That's why it never stops. But it's not this like mouse and cat type relationship that I'm pursuing. It's this idea of like living with freedom, where you can do whatever it is that you want to do. A lot of people can't do what they want to do in life, bro. Like, that's the name of the game. That's true.
I think we all agree with that. I just think that my problem, not problem, but my constant question I have, similar to what, I don't know if necessarily Don was saying this, but I agree that there still is an end goal to what we're doing. So what is that end goal? And so if you're saying that there isn't anyone,
the end goal is for the next generation to be better than the one that was before.
I do.
Hold on, one question.
Like,
So you said you said three different things so far. I think the first time you were asked, you said independence and so like self-reliance. Yeah, and then the second time you said there is no end goal, like there's always some more. And then this is your third new answer.
But how, you think freedom is just acquired? No, freedom needs to be consistently earned.
So wouldn't the answer just be freedom?
I don't agree with that. Like, freedom cannot... Okay, I agree with that in some parts of the world, but like, take for America example, you are born with liberties. That's just a fact. You are born with liberties that people in Cambodia do not have. You are born with liberties and people in Haiti do not have. So I always believe that you're born with freedoms to an extent, but not everybody is born with the same freedoms. It's not a said and done thing. There's a lot more nuance to having freedom that they're not really talking about. They're talking about freedom as if it's not just if it's just a general thing, when it's way more broader than that.
But you're also focusing on the financial aspect of how the world can control.
I feel like we making it overcomplicated, bro. You get paid for offering goods and services. Acquire a skill that pays a certain amount of money so that you can maintain a certain, like, I feel like and feed your family. Boom, that's the money. Now after that's taken care of, now if you want to fixate on becoming $100 millionaire or a multi-millionaire for whatever, I'm not even going to say, money isn't the root of all evil. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. I'm not saying you're a bad person or evil person because you're smart and know how to make a lot of money. I'm saying, like,
you should focus on
at the end. Like, I don't like this idea of like demonizing just regular work. You feel me?
Sneako, shut the fuck up, bro. Sneako, you don't know what they're going to fucking say. Stop speaking for people. Stop speaking for people. Like, you're not them. You always do this shit in any fucking debate or anything you're talking about. Let the fucking person speak. Let the person say what they have to say and shut your fucking mouth. Now, if they tap you in, they fucking dab you up and tag you into their conversation, then by all means, go and talk for them. But if someone is giving their own opinion, zip it and throw away the fucking key. Stop talking.
It's like, bro,
who demonized that?
No, this is what I was going to say.
Nobody demonized that.
Because you made the statement about 100 million, you said it's because of inexperience. What did that mean, though?
That you need that there's levels of mindset that you need to develop in order to achieve certain levels of wealth. Like, that's just different. There's different people with different information, and based off of the information that they have, they operate. So you're operating based off of your information and operating based off of mine.
I'm saying that this is a known fact for.
I don't know. It's like I came into the chat supposed to talk, and like you're like being aggressive at me just because I have a different opinion, brother. It's like chill the fuck out, bro.
No,
let's talk about something positive.
Hey, that's die energy. You gotta let die be die. Y'all gotta. But the reason I asked that though is because when you backlash with that, it's because of inexperience. Where's your 100 million at? It kind of that really showed that you do focus a lot on that financial aspect. Yeah,
but you can't be talking about the life of a billionaire if you're not a billionaire. That's what I'm talking about.
It wasn't about the
That's the point.
It was about freedom.
I'm saying, look at Elon Musk, right? Billionaire, right? Wife leave him. His son is a girl now.
His son also rejected
disown him. It's like, yo, look at Bill Gates. Look at all these people. All these same people y'all criticize about being in the Matrix and creating the Matrix is the people y'all are trying to become. It's like, what? No, listen.
Different intentions. Those people are men of God, though.
Right, but Luke's expertise, right? You're very financially savvy, right? And I'm pretty sure you're smart to where you use that to where you've gave it to give you some financial freedom, and you use that to your actual freedom to think, to say what you want, to live the life that you want, and that if people had that individuality, they would be cool. And where the take me and Don are saying is that people get that, and there's not
just money, bro. Because money is not the only ingredient.
That's a tool. Because then somebody could use the money to hold over your head.
I agree.
I'm a little
money
curious,
isn't the only ingredient.
Not to cut you off. I'm just trying to understand. We've been talking a lot about money. I'm listening more than I'm talking because I kind of want to understand where you're coming from. I feel like I have a lot to learn by listening to you. Why is there less focus? So Don's more focused on spirituality. I think I'm becoming more like that too. But why not focus on overall happiness? Because I feel like if you attain spirituality, that comes with you being content and happy. I feel like there's no real amount of money you make before you're really happy about it. There's always more. But why is like happiness
that
not?
That nigga Agent
like
having his feet out is insane. This nigga
Okay,
Agent
so
is sitting here
first,
playing
I would
with his
say it's 'cause
toes.
we're
That is
developing
outlandish.
thought. So now we'll transition to like the emotional side. So happiness, 95% of the happiness in your system biochemically is produced by one chemical, right? One chemical. That chemical is formed in your gut. Do you guys know what it is? Serotonin. Serotonin, if you have a healthy gut because you have a healthy lifestyle, you eat correctly, biochemically, you are 95% on your way to have good chemistry and balance, therefore producing happiness, right?
You don't even know how to know to do that.
You don't, exactly, right? So it's the life of balance in every aspect, right? You need wealth, but you also need intelligence, you need health, right? You need the ability to think. So it's not just money. So we can talk about health, right? Because I went through a 2-year phase in my life where I was about 195, almost 200 pounds. So I needed to get myself educated. Now the important thing to me was, okay, money. It was like, damn, like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, bro, this ain't right. Like you shouldn't be out here eating this type of food. You're addicted to this. I have sugar withdrawals. So I'm like, okay, now I need to focus on my health, right? So to me, it's this persistent pursuit of becoming better and better and better. But a lot of people, money is one of those first ones. For another person, it can be health. But it's different. People have different objectives. What I'm saying is the conversation was just initially money. So if you guys want to talk about health, we can talk about health. Want to talk about spirituality, we can talk about that. I don't know. I don't care. But I think it's important. I think money and happiness is all important, but it's different stuff.
Because a lot of things he's saying, I say as well, but you fucking on my dick about it. Because I said the same thing. I said the same thing. I said the same thing. I know. I said the end goal for people are different objectives.
Joke, by the way.
And I said that it doesn't really matter. The core of what you have is what we all have already established of what we need to get to. It's about what is your objective in life. And so people have different objectives as nuances that's based off of what somebody else wants to do. But at the end of the day, many people like myself don't really care about it.
What don't you care about?
What somebody else's end goal and objective is. If that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do with what they want to do with it.
I agree.
It sounds like Luke's end goal seems to be like financial stability and freedom, so that he doesn't have to be bound by the same terms that a lot of other people who don't have that wealth are bound by. It seems like Don's is spirituality, and he's focused more on the next life than this one.
I gotta keep the lights on too, brother. Like I'm not.
I'm just saying what your focus is.
I'm not trying to knock the importance of being able to feed yourself.
Of course, but what your focus is doesn't mean that you can't also be doing other things. It's just what takes priority in your life. So I think if we all have different priorities and different focuses, we all also have different truths. I think that we're all low-key saying the same thing. We all kind of believe that generic shit you're taught, where you had to grow up and then go to school and then get a job and live that life, is ass. And there's so many other ways to get it nowadays.
Hey, just so you know, I got something for Lou. This will really like clear some things up for me personally. Do you feel like a man can be physically like in prison, but free mentally, but like, you know, consciously?
Yes,
free?
100%.
I don't.
100%. I think you're not because wealth is a state of
shit,
wealth is a state. Wealth is a mindset, bro. Like, and everything that comes from it is just a stem of who you are as an individual. And yeah, you can be incarcerated and redeem yourself and become the hero of your story, bro. Like that can 100% be the case. So it's not about money, it's about becoming better, bro. But money is part of it. And now you're in prison.
It's a tool.
Now you're in prison. That no longer is part of your equation. Okay, then you have to recalibrate the equation.
Right. I agree.
But for us people that are here, yes, 100%, bro. But I think it looks differently to different people. You talk about somebody that comes from a village in Nepal and they end up in India working a job in a restaurant. That to them could have been success, right? Because of where they came from and how the cards were dealt. It's not about private jets and all this bullshit. It's not about that. But it's about that becoming better on a consistent basis, you know?
I have a question. Do you think that person who's just running like a store, like some supermarket, do you think that person working there, because we talked a lot about being programmed, and we get programmed in small ways, like where the food is on the aisle, like the amount of science that brilliant people use to try and trick you to buy their product is consumerism. We all participate in it. You got a Balenciaga fucking sweater on. Like, we all have expensive things that we don't need that are extravagant and excessive.
Agreed.
You feel me?
So much.
by that logic, we're all being kind of programmed. We're all falling to these influence. You talked. I had a binge eating issue. I gained a lot of weight. I'm losing weight. I'm trying to be more aware of the different
we can talk
ways
about the weight aspect, because I love to talk about fasting. I love to talk about the biochemical aspect to that and the spiritual side of that, because before I did content creation and
that they brought up weight, bro, they finna be on that nigga low dick. The moment anyone brings up the weight in the debate and Legendofwinning is here, it's a wrap. They finna suck that nigga meat. They finna be on that nigga cock.
Focused on what I do now. I was a cellular molecular biology major in college, for the pre-med track. So a lot of the way I used to use that was I would talk about, fasting and, all types of, superfoods, antioxidants, free radicals, and all the things of the body. So I see that as the same way I put that in my message is the same way Luke may put a financial part into his message, because you might love numbers, you might love math, you might love that, and then that's what you bring to the table and you connect it to all other things. So Don, to that point, that's where I say, like, this is literally what it should look like. This is how everybody should be like. But
what's the
it did
point?
seem as if you were pushing people to more of like, chase the bag, chase the bag, chase the bag, chase the bag, and they're another part of the rat race that they were from to begin with. They never get there. They never won with their soul. So
what's the point of the
by chasing that money?
What is the point of the Balenciaga shirt? Because that also doesn't make any sense.
Well, it doesn't make sense. When I was poor, I promised myself two things: that I would buy nice T-shirts and eat at any restaurant that I wanted. So those are my two promises to myself, that when I got rich, I would just splurge on those two things, and those are the two things I splurged on.
So wouldn't that logic mean that you were participating in the Matrix then?
100%. Sometimes I indulge, brother. But what does that have to do with anything? Sometimes I just want to buy a nice T-shirt. I mean, you indulge on the Matrix just by being on the internet, just by existing. Yeah. What I'm talking about isn't you have to live in the system, is the fact that you're bound by it. A lot of people are bound by it.
I think what Lo's trying to say is that there's levels to consumerism, and some people participate more than others. But I think buying because I had that same hoodie. I mean, that same shirt. I bought it for, and I have the hoodie version that I bought it for a video where my friend was styling me. But that's just value that we've all decided that thing has. If nobody gave a fuck about that brand, then it would really have $0 worth of value.
Exactly.
But I think
I think it's different to different people, because I when I was talking about this on stream yesterday in a segment that I did, was how you perceive money also has to do with how you get it. So if you work, for example, for a $500 paycheck, this shirt's $500, right? And that took you 50 hours to make you look at the shirt and you're like, damn, this is expensive, because you correlate it with the time that it took you to get it. Now, if I have my investments and I got it $500 and I didn't have to do anything for it, then okay, I'll go buy this because it didn't cost me anything, right? It was just there. So it also has to do with how you're getting it, right? It also has to do with the mindset behind it.
To a certain level, aren't we all, no matter how are we trying not to participating in the Matrix? You could try and buy real estate to get passive income, but you got to deal with zoning laws, local laws, federal laws. You got to pay taxes on it. Like, there's not many contexts where you can't follow rules, and by following those rules and falling under the influence of companies trying to commercialize your attention and just really siphon you for your money, we're all falling influence to that shit. Like, and that could
they're doing a lot of these things. People say that they're educated with the law or about the rules and regulations and the tax laws and all this stuff. Most people don't know anything, bro. Most people don't even know how to write a fucking check, right? So there's these basic things that people need to learn in order to live a better lifestyle. I see the hands waving. I don't know what do you think?
Because it's still I understand what you're saying, but you're basically, and this is the reason why I keep going back to what I'm saying, what's the end result, and the reason why, even if we disagree on some of the nuances, what I agree with what Young Don is saying about that there needs to still be an end goal of something. We differentiating somebody from, well, they live deeper in the Matrix because they don't know how to write a check. But me, I live a little bit higher, even though I wear a Balenciaga shirt, or I live somewhere in the middle.
But that has nothing to do with it. The shirt has nothing to do with it, brother.
It's the meaning.
It's the meaning. It's like
value on that.
It's the meaning behind the shirt. It's the price tag behind the shirt.
It's like that shirt doesn't have that much value.
It has no value.
Exactly, but because it has a name on it.
Yeah, but what do we agree that it has no value?
To you it does though, correct?
No, I just bought a shirt that I like.
That's cap. No. He just literally contradicted himself. Earlier, he said he was like, I'd made 2 promises to myself. I'm gonna buy nice things and I'm gonna eat wherever I want. You buying that shirt is you recognize that is a nice, expensive thing. So you can't just sit here and say, "Oh, this shirt means nothing to you." You bought that shirt because it has a meaning to it. What are we talking about?
That's all I did.
You just sat there and said,
what's the difference?
You promised.
There is no difference.
Listen,
but
bro,
there is.
You promised.
Saying the shirt is meaningful to you because when you were poor, you weren't able to.
No, I
You
said
have
that I
value.
promised myself when I was poor.
There's meaning in that promise.
It's meaning.
Yeah,
Right, there's
but
nothing
no, I
wrong
just
with
buy it
that,
because
right.
I like it.
Right,
But I buy it because I like it.
And I'm not saying
I
someone
just
is
buy it 'cause I
intrinsically
like it.
bad
I'm not-
because they
yeah,
buy
we're
nice
saying it has
things and
value
they treat
to you.
themselves.
So it has value to you then.
No, because I could do
Yes.
without it. I
But
could
what's
do without it.
meaning if not
I'm
value?
not, we're not saying it's life or death value, but it does have
It
value.
has the same value that the shirt that you're wearing, brother. It has. It's just. It's clothing.
because
It's
Mo
the
doesn't
only
care
thing.
about the shirt he's wearing.
I don't care, bro. You could take away the Balenciaga.
You
I
do
wouldn't give a
care.
fuck.
You sat there and said you promised yourself that you would buy nice things. You buy nice shirts. You
Yeah.
do care.
It
You
was your dream shirt.
That was a promise that you
Yeah,
kept from
but
you
I
from
can-
the beginning.
but I
You
don't
promised
care
yourself
about-
that.
but I don't
care.
care
Rip it
about
right
it.
now. Just
You do care. It was one of your 2 goals. What the hell?
You can't because that was a promise you made yourself from young, and you kept that promise up until now. You care. What are you saying? You care.
Not about the shirt, bro.
not that you're
Not
balling and
about the
flexing on
shirt.
people, but that it was a mark of your success.
Not about the shirt.
What are we talking about?
But Luke,
I
I think you
that's a
dodging
great
this one, bro. You
question,
dodging
bro.
this one. No, I'm gonna keep it a beat, bro. You dodging this one.
Hey,
Listen,
Sneako,
we're not
dodging
saying
it, bro.
you're.
I think
Nah,
that
that's
you guys
cool.
aren't
You got a
letting
point.
me
You got
speak.
a point. Clearly, no, you're right. Clearly, it has value. If you promise yourself that you wanted it, then it's
Not the
valuable.
same value as Becky
No.
from
Yeah,
Beverly
you're
Hills
not-
who wants the
It's
biggest
not-
Louis Vuitton
It's
bag.
not valuable.
that
But
same
you
value.
made it right now.
But it's not valuable because I could do without the shirt. Is what I'm trying to convey. I could do without the shirt.
I
What
could
does the
do
shirt
without
have to
my
do with it?
cars, but they have value to me because I care about them and I put a lot of time and effort and money into modding them. That's value to me.
It's so the effort was what you value is the time, effort, and money. that
You went out to buy the shirt. You're at nigga. You went out. You made the purchase. You went out to buy the shirt. You picked the shirt that you wanted. You picked the quote unquote nice shirt, and you bought it. That's time. That's effort, and that's money. So what are you talking about?
time and effort to really get because my passive assets provide for it. Then I could do without the shirt.
I promise I'm not.
But compared to your poor self, it has value. That's why you wear it, because you're thinking about yourself when you had no money.
Right.
So it has value. I'm not even saying that you are evil because you're wearing a shirt, but it has value.
Yeah.
It has to have value.
Look,
Literally.
one thing you told me in Puerto Rico is that I need to start dressing better. I need to buy more expensive shirts. You said I dress like a scrub.
No, I said it's wrong. I said you could go to H&M because your shorts have holes in them. I was like, bro, like why do you have holes in your shorts?
So you gonna say that in front of 11K people? My shorts are fire, Chad. Don't listen to that.
But why does that matter though? But why does that matter?
Right.
It doesn't
His
matter. It's
soul
just
is
my
full.
opinion.
Forget his shorts.
I'm spiritual.
Use
It
advice
matters.
on something.
If you, but it has to matter. It had to matter enough for you to actually bring it up randomly to him.
It's not random, bro, because
bro. It's
not random.
Hey, Sneako, you're right. You're right. Hey, you're right, bro. I'm not about to sit here and do this. Yo, nigga. Things do matter, and the reason why I don't fully subscribe to this at this point right now, I keep asking what's the end goal, and then we're just playing different levels of the matrix.
I'm drilling.
No, because this ideology.
You know my end goal though, right?
I know your end goal, and I
I'm trying to save everyone from going to hell. My end goal is my end goal.
I would rather subscribe to.
Don, shut up about God, bro. Nobody cares. They jumped Jesus in Rome, bro. They jumped him. They beat that nigga ass. They caught Jesus lacking. Sure, you want to say, "Oh, I knew one of you was gonna betray me." They jumped up and pinned him to a cross. Then what are we talking about? Like, let me stop. No, I'm honest.
I would rather subscribe to that ideology than anything else. But when we just sitting here saying I'm playing a different level of the Matrix than somebody else, then we all still in the fucking Matrix. And so my point is, if we all agree that we're still in the Matrix, regardless of whatever level of financial freedom, then what is the objective of what we're doing? You cannot sit here and have three different.
Most people don't even acknowledge that they're in the Matrix in the first place.
Most people. We're talking about us.
Well, it's
So
we will always be in the
No.
Matrix, but it's getting to a level where you can navigate around it. So you bring up taxes and stuff like that. Luke lives in Puerto Rico because there's 0% income tax. That's navigating around
He's just
the
playing
Matrix.
a different level of the Matrix, Sneako. It's
So
still
you'll
a, it's
always
a
be in
level.
it, but you can navigate around it and acknowledge that it's a game.
If he's beating it, then he would have elevated a level of mentality to not buy the fucking Balenciaga shirt or tell you to not wear shorts with holes in them. My point is this. From a young child, a lot of things that y'all talking about, nigga, I've been on it. From a young child, I always wondered, what is the purpose of my life and what's the objective in life? I've yet to understand. I've not yet to get a quality answer outside of religion.
Happiness.
No, I got one right here, right now. This is what I do with my shit.
I didn't say that though,
If you leave the impact that you intended to leave when you
That's
die.
that's the fourth answer I've gotten to that question.
I only answered it one time.
people.
I only answered it one. Yeah, you're asking different people. We have
No,
different.
I get that, but
purposes in life.
it's still different.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So mine is objectively whether you're Muslim, Christian, atheist, or this or that, whatever it is. Right? Are you in leaving the impact that you are happy with leaving on this earth? Because you won't die with the car, you won't die with the clothes, you won't die with you'll die with your reputation. But I don't focus on it. I focus on the impact you choose to leave. So even with content, even when we do e-dates and shit like that, I tell chat, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this shit, but I know it brings attention where most people use entertainment and just only be entertaining. But if I bring you through and then you watch my video, which talks about psychology and mental health and your diet and fasting, and then now I can use that platform that I've built to talk about things which will have an impact on a person when I'm dead, I'm cool. And if I get some Gucci glasses, if Young Don wears his leather jacket, if Luke has his Balenciaga shirt, see, now you've created your own matrix because you're living by your own standard. You're living by your own rules, decisions, and
there you go.
Viewpoint and blueprint of life. I don't give a fuck whether it's Christian.
Money is only one. Money is only one currency. Every subscriber that you have, that is currency. You have social currency. There's different types of currencies. There's different types of currencies. You have social currency. Every follower, every view that you get, that is influence, right? Just like money is influence, just it lets you do different things. So you're just chasing a different thing that I am. Maybe you're pursuing whatever it is, but like you're still after something.
So why tell Sneako, going back to what we said, why tell Sneako to wear better pants?
So that you can get in different places.
Let's see these shorts.
Hold up. So you can see.
Sneako, he's not talking to you. You always do this thing where when someone, if you're having a debate and someone directs a question to someone else, you intervene. Stop talking for them. You're not them, bro. Hush up, bro. Like, what the? Stop talking. What the fuck?
No. I'm asking him, Sneako. Why tell Sneako why should he have not
because unless you're well connected or in a very high status in society, in order to enter certain rooms, you have to dress in certain ways because they have dress codes and they have ways of operating. So
you have to operate within the matrix and play correctly.
You have to play the rules of the game.
Yeah.
That's all you do. It's just
You said the same thing earlier. Exactly. That's my point. That's my problem. No, not you. Let me be clear. Not Luke.
Me.
The Sneako.
Yeah.
We said the same thing earlier about how you may have to play part of the game to get to a point that better suits you. We said that earlier, and that was that was a part of your criticism. But this
you don't seem to have an end goal with your. So you have an end goal with your life, but our end goal. Hold on. My end goal with my commentary has a more clear objective than I think playback does, and that your commentary does. Overall, you like to talk, and it's like you like to have an audience and you're doing social commentary, but there's not a clear objective. There's not an end goal there. My objective with my commentary and with my stream is to wake people up so that people can be happier, because I see the amount of sadness and mental health that's affecting everybody.
To you, it's not an end goal.
What's your end goal? Then what's your end goal with your commentary?
Right. Because the end goal for
what's your end goal with your commentary?
End goal could be as simple as making somebody smile today.
It's still some form of financial liberation, and also being able to talk to a community of people who may be either like-minded or
your commentary.
He's explaining it to you.
You're saying financial freedom. Your commentary specifically, the objective of
Just
what you're.
the second part of it, I'm answering it.
Okay.
To also connect to a community of people who either are like-minded or want to hear a different opinion of something. That is the end goal of it.
Hearing a different opinion.
So, Sneako, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I think your end goal seems to be happiness.
Yes.
Okay. That's not the same as Luke's end goal because he answered it 3 separate ways, 3 different times.
And I'll answer it 10 different ways, 10 different times because I think it's more complex than one sentence or one individual thing. I think it's a conglomerate of things. And I'll continue to say that over and over again.
I agree with you.
Look, if those factors play into
I'm
the
just
whole,
trying to
then what's
understand
the whole?
motives because if you had to know where you're going, that's your end goal before you start moving in that direction. You feel me? So if your direction is happiness, everything you do should lead to that happiness.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Okay, and so that makes sense. But I'm saying when.
So watching your girl get gangbanged was leading you to happiness? Going to a gangbang and having a man come under you and lick your anus, that led you to happiness? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I see why Sneako, I legitimately see why Sneako would go to come to these conclusions. He would come to this rationale. If I witnessed that, me personally, if I witnessed my girl doing that, I would do the same thing. I would not trust women. I would like weaponize them. I would womanize them. I would not trust a single bitch. I wouldn't. So I understand why Sneako was coming to this conclusion. I really do. But it's like, you put yourself in opinion. You broke yourself mentally. And I don't know if he's addressed it or something like that, but you cannot sit here and tell me that did not have an effect on him mentally, physically. It affected him. It would affect anyone. If someone sneaks under you and takes a lick at your asshole, bro, like, nigga, that's harming you. That would scar me for life. So, like, I can understand why Sneako is coming to these conclusions. I could really understand that. I could really understand why. But it's really making me mad because, like, he takes shit to everything he says is so extreme. They go so extreme, and I think he genuinely believes it but it's like a clouded belief though. Like he's judging based off experience, and sure, that's what we all do. Everyone judges based off experiences, but he's judging everyone only off his bad experiences, and he doesn't realize that those are his experiences. What he's thinking, what he's perceiving is interperson to him. That's what he's experienced. That's not what everyone experienced. So that's not the general thing. And him trying to sit here and imply that like that is the general thing, that is really hurting. That is not helping anyone's case. That is really that's why I fucking hate the manosphere. It's just your experience, and you're pushing that onto general experiences. Everything Andrew Tate says, his experience. Everything Sneako has said since the past 6 months, since he watched his girl get railed in front of him, his experience. That is not the general conclusion that everyone comes to. So stop pushing it like it is. And another thing I said it 3 times already in the stream. Sneako, you can't predict what niggas are saying. You can't. Shut the fuck up, sit back, get a notepad, listen to what they're saying. This thing you do where you try to sit back and like predict what people are saying, like you're literally jumping. Gideon said it, Abba brought it up. You're jumping you're quite literally jumping to conclusions without hearing what the other person has to say. The moment someone starts a sentence off with you already have a rebuttal in your head. Shut the fuck up and listen. It's that simple.
Luke is giving me a different answer each time the question is asked. I'm just a little unclear, and he's saying he's willing to give it 10 different ways. Yeah. But it of course is complex. It's life. You could add detail and nuance to everything. But I'm saying,
so I'm accurate in having. If someone asks,
"What is the purpose of your life, Luke?" What would you tell them?
I'm still trying to figure it out. There you go.
And that's an honest answer, but that also means that you don't know.
And that's the journey. And that's the journey, bro.
Absolutely.
Like there's nothing wrong with that. So like it's for all of us. But I can tell people how to get to the place where I am. And I know that where I am was a lot better when I was working at a restaurant and sleeping in my car and trying to hustle my way up. And there's certain things that I learned. And those are the things that you can develop and help people learn.
Again, Luke, this is not really directed to you, but Agent, if we had the audacity to say something like that on playback, we fence sitting.
Yeah, like I don't know. But like you don't need to know.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Give me some context on that.
There's a previous conversation.
That's the whole point. As a point of a previous conversation.
I actually respect the fact that you said that, Luke. And I know you're in a better position now than you were. And it's like the reality is we're all playing the game. We're all deciding in which ways we want to play it differently, and we decide based on our end goal. If my end goal is to make it into paradise with me and my family, then every decision I make should lead to that end goal. If Sneako's is to be happy in this life, every decision should lead to that goal.
It's not just my end goal. Is not just happiness for me. I think about bringing people. Like I get happiness from other people. Like when people message me and say like, "Yo, I really woke up. Like I'm glad you said the stuff you said. Like the way you made me laugh. Like I realized things. Like I like to give people the knowledge that I have, the limited knowledge I have. To be able to share that is where I get happiness.
And that's the purpose of your life, and that's fire. That means that you're already along that path. You just have to keep it pushing. But the point I'm trying to make, though, with the programming is that we're all to a certain level programmed. Everybody in this fucking call agrees that we should break out of what's traditionally known as fact, even though it's not serving people. Going to school and being in debt is not serving people. Working a job that you hate and is making you miserable is not serving you. We all know that. We're all going to exercise that truth in our own ways. So I'm more into real estate. It sounds like, and I don't know you too well, but it sounds like you're more into crypto. But you could be diversified in any which way, but there's so many ways to win in this shit. We're all agreeing on the core message. We just all have different ways of getting to our own different end goals. So I just found it a little interesting, the criticism I received earlier about how I was deciding to get to my end goal, because nobody asked me what mine was. It just kind of came like,
what's your end goal?
What's your end goal?
I think my end goal is to be granted paradise with me, my future wife, family, extended family, and friends.
So you think that's somewhat selfish? If you have a commentary channel, you have a platform, don't you think that's somewhat selfish that you're just thinking about your family and friends? Don't you think that you should think about all the subscribers and the people that look up to you and like how you can help them as well?
Exactly, and I think I help them in other ways that might be more relevant to them. Like not everybody that watches me is Muslim, right? So a lot of people, for some reason, see me as the financial guy in my sphere of the internet, even though I really only own, I'm gonna say only, but a few homes. But a lot of people see that as like, not many people are doing that. A lot of people just throwing it down on chains and cars and running their pockets dry. But so I think I'm helping. You wouldn't believe the amount of messages I get from people because of the weight that I lost and the assets I've been able to accrue. And I don't even think they come anywhere near what Luke's done, but I think each person's going to get inspired from you differently. I'm sure Sneako, when people come up to you in public, they're gonna tell you something different each time. You may be inspired the way they think, maybe you help them get healthy, maybe you help them get through some shit. And so like we talk about entertainment like it's a bad thing, like I think Luke criticized Don's watching of the NBA earlier, but that entertainment helps people get through shit. You can't go through life without entertainment. I'm not sure about you, Luke, but the rest of us all entertain. In
your profile picture is Dave Chappelle, and like you said that you both of you look up to Patrice O'Neal. Their purpose of comedy is truth. Is finding the truth and seeking it. And I think actively you try to kind of avoid that to play the safe route because you want to have investments in real estate. You know, like
I don't think I avoid the truth at all. And I'll say this: when I first started YouTube, Sneako, I played one game mode on one game called My GM. That's not all I wanted to do. That was the way I was gonna get to where I'm at right now. And then I started to play Park. It had a way bigger ceiling. That's how a lot of people knew me. Now I'm not even gaming no more. I'm doing so there's level and so it's like there's no point in skipping steps, right? So I'm just trying to increase my influence. Of course, I would love to have a positive impact on the people that watch me, either to entertain or inform. Those are almost always my main goals because I feel like when people watch me and I get the same messages you get, I imagine, or some sort of similarities there, it humbles me. It's like, even if it's one person, I'll go through my IG DMs and I'll reply to people that feel like they've been changed by me. And it makes me feel like I'm serving out my purpose, but my main goal is more so based in faith, and I'm realizing that as I get older. So that's my truth, and I'm going to find my own way to get to my overall destination. So the reason I've been listening as much as I have is because I really just want to know everyone's end goal. We're gonna have different ways of getting there regardless. So if yours is happiness, you can't take the same route I took. You feel me? Because mine, I'm already happy. I feel like I'm already there. I'd rather
mine's not personal happiness. It's happiness for everybody.
Happiness for everybody that watches you, and I can fully respect that. I think everybody having their own end goal, I have maximum respect for it. I think we're all smart people who have found unique ways to gain. to gain success online or offline or anyway, I think we're all saying the same thing.
We are saying the same thing. And that's what really bothers me is that we're all basically saying the exact same fucking thing. But for whatever reason, let me not say because Don is all over the place. I'm saying that because let's just say hypothetically speaking, what you're claiming that we're playing in the Matrix, right? We are abiding by these rules. For whatever reason, there was a level of immediate criticism to us because we played it within this confines of the Matrix and not even understanding of what our end goal was to where we wanted to be when it was all said and done. And yet when he does it, you're sucking his fucking dick. That's the problem.
Sucking his dick out.
Me personally,
sucking his dick out.
Because you're not.
Me personally, I wouldn't let a fat nigga. Me personally, I wouldn't let this obese nigga say that to me. That's just me though. Okay, like that's.
What time, Lo?
Because I'm listening to what he's trying to say.
And Lo, you were meat riding me. Like when overall my clear objective is to help people and to spread happiness, you immediately belittle it in a video by trying to emasculate me talking about something that was entertaining on your podcast.
I didn't know that was your. I didn't know that was. Wait, I didn't know. I didn't. No, wait. I didn't know that was your end goal.
It was just coming to the like.
I know.
That's fucking nonsense. That's fucking nonsense because you just said that we all agreeing, and then you go on and you start saying I'm sucking dick. Like, can we get to a conclusion, or do you want to keep running beef?
The why I say that though is because
I was talking about the fact that he's afraid to talk about trans people, but I know that Luke actually has an opinion about monkeypox.
No, not that. But what I'm saying is he just acknowledged himself that you have to play within the Matrix to get to where you are, but where you need to be.
So where am I sucking dick?
Because when he said that, there was no pushback from you. It was before. If he sat there and told you somewhere in overseas or whatever y'all was at, we
made a video about the monkeypox.
No, I'm talking about your pants. He told you that you need to wear better pants.
I mentioned that just now on the stream. I said that.
No, back then. Did you not? Did you say something then?
Back then what?
When he told you need to put on better pants, did you say something then?
Why would I? I need to get respect from people like I'm around millionaires and I have that's a true point. I need to get respect from the room I at. That's not sucking dick. He's
right. You're absolutely right.
I can't be in Dorado with a bunch of millionaires with holes in my shorts. You got a point. That's understanding the Matrix and operating around it.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that if we did the same thing by your logic through YouTube, we're doing the same thing on YouTube, and yet it came with criticism.
How is it the same thing?
What? You just sat there
and said
because you just sat there and said that we're playing within the confines of YouTube and we edit certain aspects of the podcast and upload on a Patreon. Is that not the same thing of working within the confines?
That's not being truthful. Wearing clothes that look better is not censoring truth. That's just looking better. That's improving. You just say like you have celebrity drama. That's not truth.
Wait. Looking better for what though? Because if those people cannot decipher or they don't want to give you the opportunity to tell your truth or they're willing to judge you based off of what you look and not based off of your actual character, then they're not also living in truth either.
So you want me to call out everybody that's in Dorado? You want me to call out every single millionaire, the waitress, the staff, the host?
What I'm saying is why are you not being consistent? Because I understand the concept of being a Matrix.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't think we're getting anywhere with that. I think circle back around to like what y'all was saying about the whole everybody was saying the same thing. I like the direction things was going with that one.
But we've been saying the same thing from the beginning, and I'm just trying to figure out why is it when we were doing the exact same thing, it's met with criticism.
That's not the same thing. Censoring yourself and limiting yourself to what you talk about is not the same thing.
Okay, let me stop censoring myself because you censor yourself on that podcast. Did you not?
When?
You on the podcast? Did you not censor yourself?
With the podcast with you?
Yes.
Less than you do.
No. See, this is what I'm talking about. We're just playing different levels of the Matrix. You did it though. You said earlier you don't censor yourself. You said there is no filter. Now all of a sudden you do it less than me. So nigga,
it's the truth, and you limit yourself.
No, it's not the truth. I ask you again. Did you not censor yourself on that podcast, Sneako?
How did I censor myself on the pod? I didn't name drop somebody?
You said it after the podcast. When we got off the podcast, you said you did. So did you not censor yourself, Sneako?
I just didn't say people's names. I didn't drop names or anything.
Y'all might gotta hop in a fucking boxing ring, bro.
I'm just gonna run around him.
It's not that. It's a simple fact that, again, I understand the concept of playing within the matrix until you get your end objective. That's fine. And as long the less constraints that you have while you in the matrix is better. Everybody agrees with that, which is the reason why we opt in where we are right now in life. If we were willing to play by those rules, all of us would be